With that, ladies and gentlemen, we are all set to proceed forward with the next fireside chat. Well, the topic is really interesting. The future of InsurTech, that is, insights on the next wave of innovation in insurance marketing. So we're going to be talking about that. I believe you all have few questions related to the topic. Do you? Nobody? Koi question nahi hai? Achha, I believe you all are interested to hear about the topic. If you are, please put your hands together. I just want to know कि कितने लोग curious है. All right. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Well, this session is extremely interesting. So allow me to introduce you all with Mr. Sai Narayan, Chief Marketing Officer from PolicyBazaar.com. Would like to request you, sir, to please join us here on the stage. And to moderate the session, I would like to request Mr. Vivek Saxena, Director Sales from InMobi, to please join us here on the stage to do the honor. With that, we're all set to begin the fireside chat. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all of you. I think it's a difficult topic, right? Insurance just after lunch. I think insurance has always been scary to all of us, but we'll try to keep it light and interesting for all of us. Yeah. So, Sai, to start with, I think it's commendable how we've seen Policy Bazaar drive the entire industry to a paradigm shift in terms of where buying insurance, let's say a decade back, was considered, maybe it's a product not for me. It's a difficult decision to make. There are a lot of nuances, and there was some inhibition about that, whether we should buy it or not. And there was always a delay that people used to put ki kar lenge chalo koi baat nahi. There is always time. It's not for me right now. But we've seen and we've come so far as a country today where we are seeing people more interested in buying insurance not just to mitigate risks but also as investment tools, right? So can you share that how has been this journey for you? What all did it take and how difficult was it for Policy Bazaar to bring that change, bring that awareness and move people to come to the stage?
Yeah, sure, Vic, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the question, and thank you everyone for attending this session. It's not just scary, but also at time it's a very boring category. Trust me, it is very boring. That's what a lot of people think. But I've been in this category for quite some time now, more than a decade. So I understand where people come from. So just to address your question, I like to start with a story. I've been with Policy Bazaar for close to a decade now, and before this I used to work for another insurance company, and I was again a marketer there. And I'll start with a quick story from there. There, at that point of time, we used to do a lot of. I was a young budding marketer there, and it was not an online company, it was an offline insurance company. And there, one of the sales head I used to interact with on a regular basis used to tell me that कि देख साई तू कोई भी marketing कर ले, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है क्योंकि insurance तो हम बेचते हैं, which is it's a push product and not a pull product. And that kind of really jolted me that what is this guy saying, it is a push product. Then actually it was like a moment of truth for me, and when I look back I realized that I'm pretty much sure that the first insurance anyone unless you are a Gen Z or Gen Z, the earlier generation would have the first insurance that you would have bought is from your father's best friend or someone or you walked into a bank or stumbled upon this insurance product. So it was pretty much a push product. And as you rightly said, this product is easily the most procrastinated product, which is that, ki le lenge, kya jaldi hai. That was the kind of perception that this product always had. And also the other challenge was that people you'd end up buying only to the first jobbers would end up buying the insurance just to save tax without knowing the importance of why they should buy or why they should not buy this product. So cut to the question that the earlier sales had posed to me, and cut to when I joined Policy Bazaar. I think it was like a serendipity that this chance came to me, and I joined Policy Bazaar, and whenever I meet him now, I can tell him that today insurance is actually bought and not just sold. So that is the kind of paradigm shift. The reason of existence of Policy Bazaar was very, very simple. What you are buying, you don't know what you bought. If I ask people in the room, or if I ask you, the first insurance product that you bought offline, what is the name of the policy? What is the total coverage? What is the total, where is the policy document lying? I think 80% of the people will say, I don't know. If you ask me this question, even I don't know. So that is how we bought insurance in this country, which is, it was systematically shoved down your throat. And you bought it. That's how it was bought. So what Policy Bazaar did was, you have been buying insurance the wrong way all this while. The right way to buy insurance is buy it yourself. Buy it yourself, and the first thing that Policy Bazaar did was, look, this is a comparison engine. You have to come here, compare the policies that you want to buy, and buy it from wherever you want. We never said that you have to buy it from Policy Bazaar in the earlier phase. Of course, then we were building the category and building. So we said that compare from us, buy wherever you want. So that is the first behavioral change that we kind of brought into the minds of consumer, that look, there is an option, and the power is with the consumer. So that is the first change. The second was that making. So I always in the past, when I was asked that who is the biggest competition for Policy Bazaar, we tell that the consumer inertia is the biggest competition, nothing else. It's like it just takes 2 minutes. You have to just open your app or log on to the site and check and compare. That's about it. But people don't do it. That's why the penetration of insurance is so low in India. So the basic thing to do, so we battle, more than any competition, we battle consumer inertia. Because if you ask me more than, So if you ask me more than any other product that you use in a day, this is the single most important product. But the realization of the importance of this product only comes when, something, unfortunate happens to your friends or friend's family or your own family. Only then the realization comes, when the impact of the monetary impact happens because of any health condition or because of someone who passes away. That impact happens only then. The realization happens.
So fear is the main inducement so far.
Look, I would hate to say this, but yeah, it is one of the most important things. We all saw what happened during COVID. It was the only time. I hate to say it, but it was the only time. It was the time when our inquiries peaked, and we didn't have to, while we did advertise, but it was a time when the traffic peaked for us, and because the fear was at its peak.
Correct. So if I understand correctly, I think what you're trying to also say is that primarily buying behavior was driven by trust. Again, not only in terms of what we are buying, but also in terms of how the delivery happens. So God forbid something bad happens, who do you reach out to? So there was a phase to my dad's friend or my friend's father, whoever was the agent who was selling me. So his promise was also not that he was probably helping me buy the best policy. Whatever the name was, we never bothered, but we had that trust instilled in that person, and he will stand by us because he's a family friend, he's known to us, we'll be able to do that, right? So the behavior change that we are talking about is both material as well as psychological, right? For you to be able to do that, what are the kind of, how do you track all these trends and behavioral changes and needs of people that, like you mentioned, that probably a Gen Z will have a different requirement in terms of what he wants to buy, right? So needs also will probably change because of the stage that you are in life. So how do you track that? To what extent? How does this become a part of your whole marketing efforts that you make?
So I think one thing which is extremely important in this category is trust, because that is the only thing that we are, that is the product. Because when you pay the premium and what you get is a PDF. And that PDF is actually, if you try and end up reading it, it is like, it's very difficult to understand that.
Few pages of terms and conditions.
Yeah,
and
it's a lot of slew of terms and conditions, and it's pretty much like a Vedic book, which is, we all know it is important, but you don't understand it. So it's pretty much that. But what a customer buys into is the promise that if something happens, the claim will be settled. So I think that's the extremely important question that you asked, that, there was a time when you had this physical person who, if something happens, I can just grab that person and, ask for the claim, or, you can help me, and which the offline people also did quite well. And if you're saying, so the trust here is also pretty much, has not changed at all. I would say that, because we understand that, the trust is a product that we are selling and nothing else. So at Policybazaar, we've been very, very focused on claims and claim settlement. So for example, if we work very closely with insurance companies, and we have like a 30-minute claim settlement process. We have something called a claim Samadhan Divas, where, if there is any health insurance claim which gets kind of rejected, we invite those customers and invite the insurers and insurers to one place and say that, how can we settle this claim or not? And we've settled these claims over a period of time. And this entire claim Samadhan Divas is an award-winning program that we've been running for quite some time. And also, it is one. You also have to understand that the Policybazaar model is not buying through and through online. We also have an omni-channel experience. Like for example, if you come to our site, you put in a lead, then there is an assistance which happens. Right. You can either buy it through a call center, again a human intervention, or you can book an appointment at your house, again a human intervention, and or you can visit us at a store. So pretty much, or you can buy it through and through online. So pretty much the experience now, from earlier just being a comparison portal to it now, it's become a complete omni-channel experience for a consumer.
Okay, so my next question, I would want to take a little bit of deviation from that. I think no conversation today in forums like this is complete when we don't talk about AI, right? We are seeing a lot of industry is being adopting that tool or that technology to help ease out the whole process, or ease out how consumers interact with you, or more than convenience, even in driving efficiencies, right? Have you been able to start on that journey? How do you see that probably can AI change the way currently insurance industry is growing in any way?
No, I think the importance of AI is seen not just by our category, but each and every category. But some of the examples of for AI, how insurance category can use AI. One is definitely improving the claims experience. Like for example, we have I think 2-3 places where one is risk assessment of every consumer that can be done basis AI, because we have the data, we understand what he has bought earlier, what is the age, what is the health condition. So the entire risk assessment happens, and basis which the product can be served to him. The second place where one can use is the entire personalization. Insurance as a product can be slightly passive, but once you use personalization, once you are talking to the consumer in his own language, and also using AI to kind of curate products which is best suited for a consumer, that can help. One of the very interesting ways where we use AI is we have a very big call center, and we are listening to the consumers on a daily basis. So it is like a huge amount of data, huge amount of voice of customer that we kind of listen to, and the entire voice to text is done through AI, and we know that which are the points on which the customer is buying. Like for example, it is if I have to give an example, the fact that if we pitch that office insurance is not enough, you need to have a retail insurance. If consumers are buying on this pitch, then a new sales pitch is created based on listening to these consumer voice, and that is served to to our agents who go ahead and pitch to the consumers. So the entire model is being functioned this way. The other place where we use is we started using it is on content. Like for example, we have this property called Ask PB, which was a very small icon on our website, wherein a consumer could come and drop in a query of if he wants to understand what is a car insurance, what is a term insurance, what is a health insurance. We used to get around 20-30 hits, 20-30 questions a month, and someone in the back end would respond at his own pace or speed. So we felt that this is quite an opportunity, because it's an opportunity to be seen as a thought leader if we can create this property make this property quite big. So what we did was we kind of took Ask PB and added ChatGPT algorithm to it. So the first response is auto-generated to any question that is done, and then there is a manual edit to it, and then kind of that goes to the consumer. So when we started responding quickly to the consumer, so the questions also started coming in a much faster way, and today we get questions around 100 plus questions a week. So so that's a way of building brand around the entire content.
True. So again, currently, right now, the era that we are living is again for mobile-first consumers who are probably today, getting serendipitous discovery of curated content right on the lock screen, right? So it's mobile surface where content is being served right now. So it's very, very important for marketeers to reach to the audiences right where they are able to, access the information that we want to give them as marketeers, right? So as you said, chatbot or AI embedded with the ChatGPT usage for a chatbot kind of an environment is one way that you are disseminating that information. Other than that, how do you otherwise ensure that at scale that you are able to make consumer engagements, consumer interactions, and the information that you want to send to your audiences more accessible to them?
So I think mobile is one of the single biggest acquisition channel for us. And not just this, because I think in the last presentation you saw that 2008 was the time when the first Indian mobile Android was launched, and 2008 was when Policybazaar also launched. So pretty much we are also a product of internet era. So our journey, our growth journey is pretty much similar to the growth of mobile in India. So mobile becomes an extremely important mode of acquisition, and not just mode of acquisition, but also mode of cross-sell, retention, and also engagement for us. Like for example, the first example which I gave, people usually don't know where their policies are. Now, if you use a Policybazaar mobile app, you can store each and every policy that you have. It's like a one place where you can store. You can see everything.
Repository of sorts.
It's a complete repository, and not just that. It is a content space. You can click. On one click you can start your claim process. So it is from buying to, for example, if you're traveling abroad anywhere, your travel insurance is pretty much stored there. So everything is stored there. Your health insurance stored there. The process of claims is becoming extremely smooth on our platform. So it's like pretty much we understand that that's where the shop is, right? From acquisition
Correct.
to claims, everything delivery is happening on mobile.
Awesome. One last question from me. How do you see, or where do you see the InsurTech market going in the next 5 years from now? What are the new things, or the new normal, or or the next shift that you are expecting to happen to take it to the next level?
I think 5 years is a very small horizon for insurance because it's a very long way to go, the penetration levels. So our idea...
Sorry, I'll try and rephrase that. Like we were talking about, offline before this, that, how are you seeing emerging markets, tier 2, tier 3 markets? So that is one space that you're getting into. So similarly, what is on your agenda as a marketeer to do in the next, few years? That's what.
So I think one thing which our CEO Saravir also keeps talking about, and we all kind of abide by it, is that if the focus will now move, not now move, we already moved that focus. The focus will be customer experience. If whoever wins this game in insurance will be way ahead in terms of competition or anything, because that's what any insurance consumer is looking for. Customer experiences, and we very loosely use the word customer experience, but taking steps for greater in our category would be claims experience. Taking very strong and large steps for claims experience would be the single biggest change in this category. The other thing is that our category also needs a movement like mutual fund sahi hai kind of a movement, where the awareness of insurance needs to, while we have Policybazaar has spent a huge amount of dollars to create education in this category. So I think more and more player or some association like this could come forward, and if we can just create more awareness, that would kind of open up the floodgates for this category. Having said that, the entire penetration of the emergence of tier 2, tier 3 cities, we've already seen that happening, because with the advent of mobile, because insurance is still a very distribution heavy category, that because of advent of mobile in the past 5 years, we've seen a shift happening from tier 1 to tier 2 and tier 3. So that shift we've already seen. But I think again, the third thing I've spoken about customer experience, I've spoken about creating awareness, and then is the other thing is about product and pricing. Creating product which is absolutely suitable for the for consumers. Like for example, we have enough data points. We work very closely with the insurance companies to create products which is actually comes from the voice of consumers. And then, of course, India is a affordability crazy country. So, pricing is something which would be extremely important. And we recently launched a report of how India buys insurance, which was in the month of June or July. And these were some of the points which also came out in that report. So yeah, these are the points.
And pricing obviously will only be corrected when a larger scale of audiences
start
buying. This is a game which is on scale automatically. Cool. Great, Sai. Great chatting with you. I think I would want to open this for questions. If somebody has questions, maybe Sai can take them up.
You can raise your hand if you have any question. I believe with that, we would like to sum up the session here. Thank you so much. Would like to request you to please come forward for a group picture.